Hi everyone. Today I am talking about my project. My name is Karwan and I am from Iraq. I moved to the United States in 2015. I studied in Dallas, Texas for 5 years, and after the pandemic I moved to St. Louis, Missouri. I have a bachelor degree in electrical engineering from the University of Suleimani in Iraq. Currently I am studying at St. Louis Community College at Forest Park to pursue a tech career. I took an online class with Savvy Coders where I studied data analytics and Python, including Excel, SQL, Tableau, and Agile. I recently graduated from Savvy Coders, and my final project was on analyzing threat and pattern in drug-related death in the United States, especially in New York and Connecticut. Why I choose this topic? Looking at why and how people are dying from drug in places like New York and Connecticut is really important. It helps us find out who needs help the most and why these deaths are happening more. My question, what are the factors influencing drug-related death trend in New York and Connecticut? And how to this trend contrast with national pattern over the past decade? In New York and Connecticut, more people are dying from drug use because there are a lot of drugs available. And some people have a hard time getting good jobs, or medical help. These states also have more crowded cities and different rules about drug compared to other places in the country. I will also show some data in the next slides about which race use drugs the most, whether men or women use drugs more, what kind of drugs are being used, and where most of these drug deaths happen, like at home, in hospitals, or in nursing home. Agile is a project management methodology where we uploaded our homework and daily tasks, allowing us to keep track of our progress on the final project. And every day we have a standing to the Jira ticket, how to process to the homework and daily stand-up and homework and Capstone project. Next slide is clean data and remove time in data columns. I removed the time from the data columns in my dataset because it was not useful. I have a time beside the date is here, and I also use a Python and to remove it and clean it data. And then I clean my data set using Python. Yeah. Next slide is row and columns. I have a 51 and 05 rows and 41 columns. This is my data set in Google Sheet here, as you can see in Python. This code snippet important, the pandas library. Read a CSV file into a data frame and print the data frame to display the content of the CSV file. I use a Python here to read my Google Sheet to here. I converted my Google Sheet to the CSV file. I save it in my laptop. I bring it to here. Next slide is the map. It shows where I have a data here in Connecticut and New York. I try to analyze my data on drug overdose deaths to determine pattern in the two states, Connecticut and New York, and their various counties. I have some counties right here: New London, New Haven, Litchfield, Fairfield in New York. And here is a count drug deaths per year. I try to analyze my data to drug overdose death to determine the number of deaths per year in the chart. And I explained how the deaths have been increasing each year. As started in 2012, 355 during to increase it to 2018, 1018. It's higher in 2018, the lower in 2012, between 6 years. Next slide, it talks about gender. In here, in the chart and with the Tableau and Python, the same number I have it in here and here. I try to analyze my data to drug overdose to determine which gender had higher rate of drug overdose. Based on the information reviewed, it was found that in both Connecticut and New York, a higher number of male death from taking too much medicine as compared to female. The trend was consistent across different areas within the state. Studies highlighting the potential importance of gender as a contributing factor in these unfortunate incidents. It's here 3,773 male used drug overdose death. Here and female. Next slide is talks about race. What race more used drug overdose? I try to analyze my data on drug overdose death to determine which race had higher rate of drug overdose. The chart shows that 4,004 at 79% white and 433 11% is black and 1 and 8% Native American individual have the most overdose cases. It shows here white is 4,004 and the same that I have in the Python. Next slide talk about drug type. I try to analyze my data on drug overdose deaths to determine which type of drug had higher rate of overdose, which drug are most commonly involved to overdose each year. It's according to the with drug is most commonly used is overdose death is acute fentanyl and methadone. It's 173. It shows here as 173, and the next one 137. Second one, we use it acute. It shows here and here what drug more visit in the here the lower as goes up here as 2017 1038 is go down And here shows here three in 2012, 354 users. The next slide, it shows I try to analyze my data on drug overdose death to determine where high rate of overdose occurred in residence, hospital, or nursing home. It shows here it happened in residence, 2,677. The next one in hospital, 1,626. And I did in a Python too. I use it Python. The same data I have it here. I have the same data here. And here I describe it of injury. I try to analyze my data on drug overdose deaths to determine which describe of injury such as substance abuse, drug use, and ingestion are most commonly used in case of drug overdose death, rather than count of the type of description used. It shows here substance used is more than 2,000 used. And next one, drug used is more than 500. Here, finally, I shared my challenges. There are several challenges I faced while I prepared my project. The first one, my first idea was too big. I decided to pick up a topic and look at for a data set. I changed my idea suddenly from the Cardinal San Luis data set to a drug overdose this data set. I found it hard to create pie chart with pandas and felt annoyed about not finding many good answers. Finally, conclusion. We learned about how many people are dying because of drugs in New York and Connecticut. There are many reasons why this is happening, and by looking closely at who is affected and how they use drugs, we can find ways to help. It's important for everyone to work together, like policies, doctors, and community members, to make things better. This means focusing on stopping drug use before it starts, teaching people about the dangers of drugs, and helping those who are already struggling. By working together, we can make our community healthier and safer, and help those who are suffering from drug problems.